After Army's dismantling a temple on Thursday night, which saw them outgain the Owls 417 rushing yards to -5 rushing yards, Army tied the nation's current longest winning streak, a streak they held with Missouri until Saturday. Army is favored to win in all but one of their remaining games, and they could find themselves in the college football playoff picture. But that was not always the case. This is a rise of Army football under Jeff Monken. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also let me know which service academy you root for in the comment section below. When Jeff Monken was hired to become the head coach of Army, they were in the midst of what turned into a 14-game losing streak to Navy that would range from 2002 until 2015. While Rich Ellerson had found some success at Army, his inability to beat Navy in only one bowl appearance in 2010, their first bowl appearance since 1996, and a game they would win, was not enough as Ellerson went 20-41 as head coach of the Black Knights. Replacing Ellerson would be Georgia Southern head coach Jeff Monken. Monken came from the Paul Johnson coaching tree and was an assistant at Georgia Southern and Navy under Johnson. During his tenure at Navy, the midshipmen would begin their 14-game winning streak in 2002, and they would never lose to Army while Johnson was head coach at Navy. When Johnson left to take the Georgia Tech head coaching job, Monken followed, serving as his special teams coach and running back coach. After 2 seasons at Georgia Tech, Monken would take his first head coaching job taking over at Georgia Southern. Monken brought back the triple option offense to Georgia Southern. The team would finish the regular season 7-4. It would go on a run in the playoffs though, making it to the semifinals where they lost to Delaware. In 2011, the Eagles finished the year 11-3 and made it back to the semifinals once again, this time losing to North Dakota State and Fargo. 2012 saw them finish the year 10-4, and they made their third appearance in the semifinals of the playoffs once again, losing to North Dakota State and Fargo 23-20. Monken had led them back to the playoffs for the first time since 2005, won them their first outright conference title since 2002, and had them ranked as the #1 team in the nation for the first time since 2001 throughout his tenure. During his final season at Georgia Southern, they would go 7-4 and upset Florida in the Swamp, giving the Gators their first loss to an FCS team, and Georgia Southern's first win over an FBS team in school history. That would be Georgia Southern's last game as a member of the FCS, and the last game Monken coached at the school. Monken would not find instant success at Army as they would go 4-8 in his first season and 2-10 during his second season, losing to Navy both years. Though he set the groundwork for the program, preaching ball control, toughness, field position, and fundamentals. But finally in 2016, Army would not just make it back to a bowl game for the first time since 2010, but also beat Navy for the first time since 2001. Army finished the year 8-5, winning the Heart of Dallas Bowl, and continued to find even more success in 2017 and 2018. In 2017, they once again beat Navy and finished the year 10-3, winning the Armed Forces Bowl, while in 2018 they finished the year 11-2, ranked 19th in the final AP poll, beat Navy for the third straight season, and won the Armed Forces Bowl for the second year in a row. It looked like Army football was back when it came to their rivalry with Navy, and they were about to go on a little winning streak themselves. Yet since 2018, they have not won double-digit games. 2019 would be a weird season for Army. They beat Rice in their season opener and then traveled to Ann Arbor to take on 7th-ranked Michigan. You see, Army football players are built different and are not afraid to line up against anybody. No one gave Army a chance against Michigan, and they would shock the world. Jalen McClinton told Bleacher Report back in 2019, "We can handle more than most people." Army dominated Michigan for the first 2.5 quarters of the game, taking a 14-7 lead at half and rushing for over 100 yards in the first half. They silenced the Big House, and the crowd booed the Wolverines as they left the field for half. Army would miss a game-winning field goal attempt as time expired in the fourth and fell to Michigan 24-21 in double overtime. For the second year in a row, they fell in overtime to a top 10 ranked team. It lost to number 5 Oklahoma in overtime in 2018. At the time, since hiring Monken, Army led the nation with an average of 312 rushing yards per game. Army would finish the year 5-8 and lost to Navy, but bounced back in 2020 with a 9-2 regular season record, which saw them win the Commander-in-Chief's trophy, but almost not get a shot in a bowl game. After the regular season, Army had an agreement to play a Pac-12 team in the Independence Bowl. However, many Pac-12 teams began to opt out of the bowl game opportunities, and the Independence Bowl was ultimately canceled. Jeff Monken was pissed that his players would not get an opportunity to play in a bowl game, telling ESPN, "Don't say no to Army, because you're not just saying no to our team. You're saying no to 1.3 million people who serve on active duty all over the world who want to have that source of pride represented in a bowl game. I'm not pointing fingers at any one person, it's just collectively. As a bowl season, whatever the system is, a 9-2 team should not be left out, and a 9-2 Army team should not be left out. I don't know how we have an Armed Forces Bowl, and a Military Bowl, and a First Responders Bowl, and all these bowl games. We're going to have service members coming back and being reunited with families. We're going to put it on TV, and it's going to be a feel-good story. And you're going to leave the Army team at home? We pulled off the biggest wins of these seniors' career. They just won the Commander-in-Chief's trophy back. That's going to be their legacy, and they're looking forward to playing in a bowl game one more time together before they go off into the United States Army. And we're sitting here telling them, sorry guys, you can't play. Army stayed ready to play and eventually got to play West Virginia in the Liberty Bowl, losing 24-21, finishing the year 9-3, but getting to send the seniors off in a bowl game rather than a what-if situation. In 2021, they won the Armed Forces Bowl and finished the year 9-4, but although they have won back-to-back Army-Navy games and have gone 6-6 in both 2022 and 2023, they have not gotten a bowl game invite. That is because the NCAA has a stupid rule that you need to have bowl eligibility before conference championship week. The Army-Navy game does not count towards that. When Army tried to fight this, the NCAA rejected their appeal, even though there were 5 and 7 teams getting bowl game opportunities. God, I really hate the NCAA. Jeff Monken has built Army into a consistent winner, which has been amazing to watch as recruiting to the school is extremely tough. According to Athletic Director Mike Buddy, Monken embraced the characteristics of West Point and became a tone setter on campus. Most cadets struggle to adjust to West Point culture early on. Being tough is one thing, but figuring out how to efficiently manage your time and balance the overload of football, school, and military responsibilities is another. When it came to recruiting players, Monken focused on guys who were selfless, team-first athletes who would embrace the cadet brotherhood. Monken targeted overlooked recruits who have played high-level high school football on hotbeds like California, Texas, and the South. Players must meet extremely high academic requirements and their football responsibilities. While players can transfer out from the Army, the school is unable to bring in transfers via the transfer portal, whether that be from the FCS or trickle down from the Power 4 programs, like their conference rivals can. School also does not offer NIL opportunities, and you have to complete your service requirements before going pro. You go to the service academy, you're going for the world-class education and because you want to serve the country. Being able to play football is just a bonus. So the fact that Monken has been able to sustain success at Army has been quite impressive and got them an invite to the American Athletic Conference this year. Heading into the 2024 season, Army was projected to finish 10th, one spot ahead of Navy in the conference. Last time they were in a conference, they joined the Conference USA and went 9-41 from 1998 to 2004 as a member of the Conference USA and attempted to move away from the triple option offense. Monken and co, with their 11 returning starters from last year, hoped this year would be a little better for them. They were given a manageable schedule, avoiding Memphis, Tulane, and USF for the first year as a conference member. According to College Football News, their win projection for the season was 6, with their only guaranteed win coming against Lehigh. They returned quarterback Bryson Daly and linebacker Caleb Fortner. So far this season, they have dominated and looked to smash their 6-win projection. They crushed Lehigh 42-7 in their season opener, and followed that up with a 24-7 and 37-14 beating of the Florida Atlantic Owls and Rice Owls, respectively. Then on Thursday night, they ran all over Temple, beating them 42-14, and outrushed them 417 rushing yards at 7.3 yards per pop, to -5 rushing yards for Temple, to beat 3 Owl programs in a row. Quarterback Bryson Daly rushed for 3 touchdowns for the second week in a row, and the defense sacked Temple's quarterback Evan Simon 7 times, which was the most sacks since the 2018 Armed Forces Bowl. With the win, Army has tied Missouri with the nation's longest active win streak at 8, dating back to nearly a year. Army's 4-0 start is the third in the last 28 seasons, including 1996 and 2021. Army has a very manageable schedule the remainder of the year. Next week they travel to Tulsa before matchups with UAB and ECU before their bye week. They could easily enter their game against Air Force at 7-0, and after they host the first leg of the Commanders-in-Chief series, they then take on North Texas, Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium, UTSA, and Navy. There's a current scenario where they play Navy in the American Athletic Conference Championship game and in their yearly Army-Navy matchup with the way both teams are playing right now. Army could be favored in all but one of their remaining games, Notre Dame. They finish year 11-1 and win the American, the college football playoff could be a possibility. Like I said in my Navy video on Friday, I love being able to talk about the service academies and love when they are in the college football playoff discussion. I hope Army continues to win, and I can't wait to see how they play the remainder of the season. What do you think? Can Army make the college football playoff? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.